southern states, particularly exemplified by Florida, California, Arizona, Texas, have seen surges that are really quite disturbing. Surges, as you mentioned, that have gone up to over 60,000 cases a day. That obviously is something that we must address and address in a very, very, very cogent way. And if you look at the reasons for that, you ask the why. Why is, it's a complicated answer to that. But one of the things that became clear is that when you look, and I'm not going to name any specific states, but there were some states that actually, when you look at what the guidelines were for opening, put out and delineated exactly what should be done. But the citizenry of the state or the city had the impression that you went either from lockdown to put caution to the wind. And what we saw were clips of people at bars congregating without masks, not staying distant, in crowds. And that's what I believe is at least part of the explanation for why we've seen this surge as went up. That's the first thing. The other thing that's important in the comparison to other countries, which is, in some respects unfair, but in some respects is fair, that when you looked at what happened in the European countries, when they had their peak and they locked down to the tune of about 90 to 95% of the country truly locked down. So they went up and then they came down to baseline. And when I say baseline, I mean literally handfuls of new cases, 10s, 20s, 30s, not hundreds and thousands. When if you look at the United States as a whole, when we went up and peaked and started to come down, we never really went down to baseline. We plateaued at around 20,000 cases a day, each day, until we got into the resurgence, which then came back up to 30, 40, 50, and 60. So because of that, what I think we need to do, and my colleagues agree, is that we really got to almost regroup, call a timeout, not necessarily lock down again, but say, we've got to do this in a more measured way. We've got to get our arms around this, and we've got to get this controlled. If we don't do that, Mark, we're going to wind up getting a situation where in other states, we may be seeing the same thing. So it's a mixed bag in this country. Some areas doing well, but some really we've got to really pay attention to and do something about it.